Hello, everybody. Welcome back to competitive League of Legends here at UTD Esports. We've got our activation games all finished. Clean record here, 0-0 for our UTD team. But we'll be playing our first match here up against Columbia College pretty soon here. I'm Combo, joined here by Diablow.
Yes, hello.
How are you doing tonight? How are you feeling about this game?
I'm doing great. I think UTD Esports has a very good position to win this game.
Oh, okay. I haven't done a whole lot of research on Columbia College, but looking at just a UT Sports roster this year, I'm feeling pretty happy and pretty confident about like who we've got. Especially, I've heard a lot of good things about the top laner, Yoshiwi, and of course, jungler Ryan Hookery being one of the kind of OG like players from earlier team iterations. I think might be the only one. I'm trying to think about everyone on the roster. Might be the only carryover from last year, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm excited to see kind of hop into this draft here because I have been a little out of the loop with what characters all these players have been kind of shooting for, aiming for, and what the meta's been looking like. So I'm very excited to see where all this goes. Do you have any sort of inclination on what champs might be highly contested or looking for big fan type deals?
Right now, ADC is a very strong role. It's basically the main basic carry of the game right now. MF is particularly has been super strong along with Sivir and Zeri, so I'd expect some early ADC picks along with a Hecarim pick, as Hecarim has been very broken recently.
Okay. That's exciting, yeah. I remember back when Zeri first came out, there was a bit of time where maybe she was a little bit underplayed and didn't take too long for her to start being really like pick her ban in all of our like competitive CLOL games when UTD was playing last semester. So it's kind of interesting to see that Zeri's still around. But I remember also seeing Jinx and Jin back then, and now we're hearing things more like MF and Sivir.
Yeah.
And so always changes to be coming about. And then Hecarim in the jungle. Any other contentions in jungle that you've been seeing at all lately?
Not much really. Hecarim's been the only real power hyper carry in the game.
Okay.
Everything else is more supportish, more stuff like Jarvan. Yeah.
All right. What kind of splashes has the kind of Udyr changes been making in lane and jungle?
Udyr's been very strong in top lane recently with his tank build with Demonic Embrace. It becomes an absolute nightmare to deal with. But I don't know if our top laner actually plays Udyr, or if both top laners play Udyr.
I have seen the UTD top laner pull out Udyr before, but it was in the context of an in-person tournament over at GG Easy just this past weekend. And I do believe they ended up second place to one of the A&M teams. Ooh. So it's the potential is there. We've seen the Udyr before, at least like there's some context, but I'm not sure if there's a different level of weights or how Yoshiwi was perceiving the tournament and for the character picks that align with it. We'll just have to wait and see where it goes. Just a reminder, tonight is going to be a best of 3 after all the activation games were best of 1. The circuit is starting right here for real after all placements have been made. So I'm really excited to see. I'm really excited to see where it goes. Yeah. Transition over to draft here. Pretty soon we'll be getting some first bans. Sorry about that, everyone. We had some player difficulties there, but everyone is back in order now. We've got a first ban from UTD is Pike, and first ban from Columbia College is the Misfortune that you brought up before. Terror in the bot lane. Good to get rid of that from Columbia College's side. What do you think about the Pike ban?
Pike, not very strong in the meta right now. Might be a bit of a target ban to the Columbia support. Same with the Kane.
Okay. Nothing too crazy to otherwise be worrying about those champs in particular. Got it.
Not really. They are really strong, but in the pro environment where everything's a bit less chaotic, probably not.
Understandable. Getting some bot lane focus bans here, as you said before, from Columbia College, with both MF and Soraka down. And it seems like UTD is still concerned, of course, with bot lane potential with Pike being banned out. So a lot of win con development here over what ADC and support picks are going to end up being. So I'm interested to see who's left on the table after, because they're getting another Viego highlight. That's a ban. Another jungler down. In terms of ADCs, we've still got Zeri and Sivir up, right? Among, of course, other contenders.
That may be the Udyr gone.
Yeah, that's going to be Udyr possibly on UTD top laner's match history.
And now Hecarim is open, and this is a very strong champ in the meta right now if he can be played with a team comp that works well with him.
We'll be looking at UTD getting blue side first pick. This is a big start. Going with Jarvan.
Open.
Not surprised. Definitely see a lot of Jarvan from Hookery in the past. Oh, there's the Jinx pick, and that's going to be starting our ADC in bot lane.
Yeah, Jinx, of course, a staple hyper carry in the meta. Has basically always been meta.
And now, of course, bot lane is free to counter pick and not let any of the other cards loose for any other lane. So Draven already highlight. Wouldn't be surprised if the support pick to follow. But if there's any high contestable junglers, i.e. Hecarim, or potentially even Jarvan, if they want to take that away, they could go for that on second pick as well. Oh, that's going to be an Ahri lock. Assuming that's not really trying to be some sort of crazy flex pick and going mid lane. I feel like that's a bit of a precarious position to put oneself into. What do you think about that?
Ahri, I think it's a safe blind pick. You can play towards bot lane. It's very good at roaming and ganking, which works well with the Draven. Sylas being picked up by UTD, which would be very strong into Ahri. Of course, going to steal the ultimate, and I think Sylas with the Ahri ultimate is much better than Ahri with Ahri ultimate.
Well, that's kind of what you leave yourself open to when you're blind picking. With other roles kind of being more open to maybe try maybe less affected by laning. So having a Sylas here being an absolute monster, running around stealing people's ults, dashing up, as much burst damage and sustain as possible. But Ahri range champ, laning phase might be a little bit annoying for Sylas until he can properly get in. Now we're seeing a Graves highlight on jungle, probably drop into a Wukong.
This is a flex pick when we go into bot lane, top lane and jungle.
That's a crazy different ADC meta if I'm seeing Wukong in the bot lane. Got Vi highlighted, and that's going to be the jungler pick here from Columbia College. All right, trying to look at the 3 picks now. What kind of comp are we really looking at here?
On the side of UTD, I would really love if they picked an Enchanter. It works so well with their Sylas, their Wukong, their Jinx. It would make them almost unkillable. Looking at Columbia College, they have a lot more engaged. They'd obviously want to pick an engaged champ like Leona, Nautilus, something like that. We can see Columbia banning out Lulu. Yep, that's the ban. That's almost exactly what UTD wanted. Still a few other Enchanters left up, though.
Right, Soraka and Lulu are down. It's not the end of the world. In terms of Columbia College's team composition, definitely seeing hard engage with Vi and dive capability with Ahri as well. I guess I'm a little interested about the Draven pick, especially how that matches up with Jinx in lane. But we got the Nautilus banner here trying to get rid of those engage supports that Columbia College is probably fishing for. Wouldn't be surprised with a 5th ban on Leona, especially since support is still open on both sides. Arguably just as important as a pick as the ADC itself.
Looking at to ban Braum, which is a very good anti-engage support. Would be completely counter their team comp so far.
It's Braum down. Blue GT side rather gets the last ban. Leave that Leona open. They're gonna prioritize something else. Top lane is still technically open, and there's the
Taking
Camille
more damage.
highlight.
Showing that UTD maybe wants to pick Ornn if they ban Camille. Ornn would be pretty good. He's very good disengage into Columbia's column. Picking Gnar.
Yeah, Gnar on the top lane. I mean, still good potential here for team fighting, especially, jump in, ult to wall, right? It's the craziest thing you can get with the character, but somehow I feel like there's a little bit less cohesion on Columbia College compared to what I'm seeing with UTD. I guess the Sylas and Wukong are making me feel like there's more of like a proper dive in, get lots of AoE damage and AoE CC off, while Columbia College is almost looking a little bit more single target to me, which is, of course, perfectly viable. And here's the Ornn pick that we were talking about before, and we got Renata on highlight.
Renata very good on take age. It saves a teammate from dying from a dive, and also her ult is extremely good when enemy teams jumping onto you. Same with Ornn ult.
Yeah, that's that ult is an incredible mechanic, honestly, in terms of what uniqueness it applies, but of course it has all of its charms and problems that come with it. But we have the switch over to Janna. That makes the bot lane pretty disruptive here. I think Jinx, Janna, good amount of poke, right? Good amount of range on both of them. We're going to have your Jinx W, have Jinx Rockets, and of course passive stacking to help follow up on things, while Janna's going to be trying to poke as much as possible, apply shields, get some slows. Bot lane is looking, I mean, depends on what support pick here is going to be here from Draven.
Bard. Very interesting. The thing about Janna is she's very good at into engage supports because she can basically cancel every hook, every attempt at engage with her Q. And she basically fills the same role as Renata, which is anti-engage, stopping the enemy from jumping onto you, letting your carries live a little bit longer, and letting them do more damage.
Right, and I mean, now we're at both complete team compositions here. I'm looking at UTD's team, and I'm seeing good team fight potential with Ornn, Wukong, and Sylas, right? And then Jinx has no problems following up, and Janna's going to do her part in trying to disrupt. And, you never see what a team fight can look at with Janna ult and just pushing everyone out everywhere. But looking at Columbia College's team, I'm still not quite seeing a really huge win condition here besides like a hard Draven stomps lane type deal. Right, but I mean, now paired with Bard up against the more aggressive, Jinx Janna, I'm feeling like that may not be the most likely and not exactly what to be looking for. I think Draven just kind of want to sit back and farming and try to scale to mid-late game. But at that point, that's when you have like your dives and like your bruiser types with Sylas, Ornn, and Wukong scaling decently well to at least get the CC bot roll done. And then Jinx, of course, scales too. And that's going to be kind of weird. And I feel like the rest of the team is not exactly, besides Ari helping out a lot with roams, is feeling a little bit weird on how like mid to late game is going to execute. But how are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel like Columbia College, their comp is they want to take complete control over the early game. They want to make sure bot lane has like 30, 40 CS lead, at least get a few solo kills. They just want to if they can't snowball, UTD's just going to outscale them. They have Sylas, they have Ornn, they have Jinx. Those champs are known for how godlike they are in the mid-late game.
That's going to be real tough looking at. We have Vi in the jungle on Columbia College's side, so that definitely leads to solid aggressive ganks in the bot lane. But again, anti-disengage from Janna. I mean, smart play from bot lane kind of shuts down any like significant win condition potential that Columbia College has from UTD side. Because again, you have Draven who can scale like reasonably well, but putting that up against a team that's got good dive CC and also up against the Jinx when the rest of your team may not be able to keep up to pace makes this seem like it's a very early game sided for Columbia College. How realistic do you think that is considering the conditions that UT is playing, especially around bot lane where Janna's kind of built around this disengage, where even someone like Vi who's heavy with that charge Q goes flying across walls, get a knockup, big damage. But Janna can throw a tornado and kind of invalidate most of what Vi's trying to do there. Even early games in post 6, sure, can't touch Vi off ult. And that's going to be pretty painful, right? And Jinx has no solid mobility on her own, and she has to kind of rely on traps or of support for coming in. There's outplay potential there with Vi at level 6, right? But then what's early laning going to look like with these two?
I feel like early laning for bot lane is Columbia favored. Draven's just very strong. Bard isn't even that bad early game. I say he's pretty good. The main thing they'd want to do is just set up dives for bot lane with Ari and Vi. Janna has good disengage, but she can't really do much if there's people diving her from like 3 different sides. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, you're gonna have 3 angles all on you under tower. You're all squishy. You're all gonna take a bunch. Your tornado can only knock up so many people. You don't have ult pre-6. Can't just hard push everyone out. That is hopefully something that Columbia College has in mind looking into this game. Let's take a look at our top lane matchup. We're going to have Nar on Columbia College's side up against... blanking on YouTube. That's right, Orange, right. That's very important. I feel like naturally as a matchup, this is like pretty decently Nar favored.
Yeah, it's Nar favored in the early game, but I don't expect much to happen top. Orange will just play safe. Both junglers will probably path to bot side, and they'll just be sitting around AFK farming.
Yeah, they're just gonna farm. We'll probably have Orange sitting under tower, Nar throwing out Qs, trying to apply W stacks wherever you can get that percent health damage if possible. Right, that'll definitely be bursty on tanks. But I mean, if Orange's not letting up, if Wave's just going to be stuck up at tower, there's not a whole lot Nar can do and just has to sit back and farm. And then mid lane, in terms of Silas, Ari, you did bring up that Silas is kind of a counter pick, especially with ult. And the fact that he has pretty easy ways of getting in, Ari having no mobility pre-6. How do you feel about these trades and how do you feel about laning? I mean, naturally, there's always a ranged melee dynamic that you kind of have to worry about with getting outpoked. But at the same time, I feel like Silas doesn't have to worry about too much because of sustain and also his way of finding, his way in.
Yeah, I mean, with the strength of like second wind and Endurance Shield, the poke really isn't that much of an issue, especially with an Ari who's not very strong in the early laning phase anyway. I feel like Silas can basically just get a free lane. I think he'll be able to get 10 CS per minute and just outscale the Ari.
Wow, that brings us a lot to kind of our predictions here of how jungle is going to be focused and how we expect our lanes to go. So we'll be throwing it back to a break as we finish out the rest of Spectator Delay. We will see you guys very soon.
Take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home. And I want something I can
be hopping right back into the game here. We got NECC Week 1 UTD versus Columbia College. Everyone is 0-0. It's all a clean slate. We have an entire team of Columbia all pulling up on bot lane, heading towards that red buff. Is UT going to get anyone caught out this early? How crazy are things going to get?
I mean, Columbia's early game is very strong. They don't want to look for an invade, get some prio out. Maybe put a few deep wards now, know what the enemy jungler is up to. And we see that Jinx is taking Ghost, which is very popular nowadays. Ghost, people are learning it's a very strong summoner spell, a bit more powerful than heal. Actually, most ADCs now agree that taking the Ghost movement speed will let you dodge more damage than heal or barrier could save you.
Rest of team not too concerned about all information they got from bot side, and it seems like they've backed off. They're just trying to get some vision. But we could be seeing a crazy Bush 2-on-2 here. Are they trying to catch someone out, or is UT just baiting? Oh, they're going straight in on Janna. This is a pretty early clip. Ignite is already down. We're getting Draven axes applying so much damage, but Janna is still alive. Jinx throwing back rockets. Still getting out damaged by Draven early on. Now, both of UTD's bot lane is probably going to have to back here. I'm not sure if they want to contest lane at such low health, but seems like they're actually walking up to their tower. Maybe they're not too worried about this. And they're still going to try to play this out as best they can. Honestly, you know, not a bad call here from... Oh, well, a lot of damage from Bard. He still lands the CC, but we do have Glacial Augment and the Tornado knockup on Draven, so no crazy damage follow-up. Bard hurts early game.
Yeah.
Bard is hurting.
This is exactly what Columbia wants. They want to play with a strong early game. They want to get a lead. And the great thing about their comp is when they do get a lead, they actually can hold on to it. With so much engaged, there's nothing UT Dallas can't really do.
Right, we're going to see... Jinx have to go all the way back, missing out so much CS. This wave is everything that Columbia's wanted so far. And they're going to be trying to establish this early game dominance to be as aggressive as possible before Janna even has a chance to try and disengage, land a root on either one of them, and at least burst damage 1 or 2 axes from Draven. That's already like over half your health at this point in the game. And who knows where it'll go from there, but Bard is being an absolute menace in lane right now. Jinx is just returned. They're both at level 2. UTD's bot side still at level 1.
Again, as we can see, both junglers are pathing towards bot side as expected. But now Columbia has a huge level lead, so I wouldn't expect UT Dallas to even try to contest it.
And how impactful can we really expect Wukong's ganks to be super early on when we're really just going to be looking at a double EQ and then after that just trying to follow up with damage? But there's no hard CC to apply until level 6 with the multiple knockups on Wukong's ult. So I'm not even sure the relative impact between two junglers, especially like trying to go for a dive or an anti-dive. Wukong has nothing to provide out, but it looks like they're going pretty deep surrounding the tower here. Big damage onto Janna, but not quite enough. Draven's tanking a lot from tower. We have Wukong all the way down bot, but taking so much damage here. No one is committing to anything in terms of actually trying to get a kill. We have a TP down bot, and the rest of red side is going to try and disengage. We do have Rory walking down, but before Bard can get away, First Blood goes down as Bard is dead. Draven's in the backline trying to pick up a kill off Jinx. Can Draven get any more? He's not able to grab Janna, but in that meantime, Wukong is able to take out Rory, and that's going to be a pretty big win kill-wise for UT Dallas. Not exactly what Columbia is looking for. I did like that they kind of tried to set up an early dive, but Wukong was there to match, and it doesn't seem like they really had a strong pick at the early beginning of that fight, right? They're kind of distributing damage across both Jinx and Janna. No one is really in that kill range until everyone is out, and the TP was already in. That's pretty tough for Columbia considering the win condition we were talking about not too long ago. Now putting UT a little bit more on the map. We have a 1-1-2 Jinx up against a 0-1-1 Draven, but there is a significant CS gap here, so it's not the end of the world here for Columbia.
Yeah, a huge misplay by Columbia College when the Vi's flash Q missed. Really stopped them from getting any kill and lost all of the potential of the dive. Especially with the Silas TP coming in, it was a perfect counter. So even got there before Rory got there.
Yeah, it really neutralized here. We have Bard jumping in. Jinx is so caught out right now. There's a flash, but there's an ignite. We get some autos from Bard. Any cooldowns to stop? Nothing. And Jinx is still going to make it out. Great coverage there from Janna doing what she could after Jinx got caught out in such a bad position there from Bard. Jinx did have to burn the flash, but you gotta do what you gotta do to survive.
Yeah, and even though that Jinx got a kill and 2 assists off the dive, Draven has a huge CS lead. The wave is pushing into him. He's gonna be up levels. He's gonna be up gold. This Jinx is looking really desperate right now.
Nah, it is looking rough. Let's look at some CS from the other lanes here too. Oh, just kidding. They're hunting down this Janna in the bot lane. Not quite gonna get it though. Taking a look here at mid lane. So we were kind of talking about the Silas Ahri matchup. Right now, Ahri's got a bit of a lead. Up over Silas, and I mean that's not too unexpected again if you're doing a ranged melee matchup. Even as a character like Silas who has an easy way finding in, sometimes laning can just be a little hard, and that's the way it is. But what kind of bot lane fight we're looking at here? Bard has gone in. Oh, nice dodge there from the Janna. This could be a knockup. Glacial Augment, and now Bard has taken way too much damage. Gonna have to flash the W. Vi is looking to disengage as well. Draven is not here for the crazy damage output. Just a little bit of extension here from Colombia's side, but they're gonna get away without too much damage.
Yeah, I mean, I love the aggression from Colombia. They really are playing to their win con. Draven is still a huge lead over the Jinx. I doubt that this Jinx will get back into this game pretty soon at all. They'll probably keep on trying to go for dives, keep on going for plays, keep playing aggressive. And this Jinx is looking really hard right now.
Yeah, we've got Ahri's CS lead building up over time here. Not much on from Silas's end. Trying to pick it back here. There is the charm and gets off a lot of damage, but Vi is not in range to help follow up on that, maybe secure the kill. Still looking pretty good here for Columbia College's mid laner. Top lane, doesn't seem like a whole lot of actions there. Just farming, got 47 to 41 CS. Slight lead here to UTD. Nothing too crazy, as expected.
Well, meanwhile on the bot lane, we see Draven has 50 CS and Jinx has 16. It's just massive.
Yeah,
Two levels up already.
Even though Jinx is trying to kind of sit in lane and pick off as much as Jinx can, like Bard and Draven are applying so much pressure that Jinx really can't touch anything. Oh, but we're seeing a Wukong kind of invade on Vi's red buff here. We're going to see a fight. Vi's going to disengage from her. She is a level down. There's going to be the smite. Wukong still gets the buff. Now get the auto slow too. We have the W in. Q is going to get back up real soon. Look at that damage, but no E in time to follow up. And Wukong's going to disengage. Big damage here from Ornn. Ornn's going to pop ult here. Try to knock up Gnar, but good way to just disengage, not get poked out, because that was a pretty dangerous position there for Ornn. Not a whole lot of mana. Wow, big damage here on the mid lane. Looks like really, really close fight. Wukong is here trying to fish out this Ahri. I don't believe is her ult. Her ult is not up right now. Could have been a catch for Wukong, but good pathing from Ahri, keeping herself safe.
Yeah, and while this Vi has been making so many plays, this Wukong is just power farming so far ahead. He's already up 20 CS, and Vi doesn't have any camp set. Well, meanwhile, Wukong has his entire top set up, and his bot side's still respawning.
Yeah, he's kind of pathing here towards Dragon, although bot side is pretty weak-sided here. Oh, we do have a flash in from the Vi, but Jinx is going to pop Ghost, keep herself alive, and have Wukong for the reverse gank here. Goes in hard onto Draven, does get the knockup. Draven's going to be able to walk away. Bard is caught on such a bad position, though. Bard is effectively ends up sacrificing himself, and Vi is going to go down as well. That damage output from Wukong is just too strong, and Draven barely makes it out alive.
Yeah, we can see Jinx is already caught up. He's only 20 CS down now and has 2 kills and 3 assists. Already has a bounty. She's been very strong. All of Draven's lead is slowly being taken away.
Right. Overall, gold advantage is still going to... Oh, nice avoid there from the Draven ult. That definitely would have killed. Overall, gold advantage definitely going towards UTD for now. Considering there's a pretty big CS gap in jungle. Mid is evening out. And bot, while having the CS deficit, does have the kills to make up for it. Curious to see when the first dragon is going to be popping up here, because it already seems like UTD's bot lane is more willing to contest the strength that Columbia College's bot lane had earlier in the game. Trying to see a mid fight picked here. We missed the last one due to camera angling. We'll see if Russell Grindset wants to pick something or just wants to sit back and keep farming.
So far, UDLs, they're going exactly with their game plan. They're scaling up. Few misplays by Columbia, but I still believe that the Draven and all their dive can still make some plays bot lane. Hopefully bring back the game for them.
Right, I think now actually the big point of contention here is the jungle. The big difference in jungle with both kill participation and also with farming actually I think makes for a much better position for UTD all around, because it makes the roam so much scarier from Columbia College's side. They can't be as confident to win these fights when Wukong is, had that early level 6, already get that strong gank, and now snowballing up to being a pretty powerful contender, while Vi just recently hit 6 and it's just not up to snuff in terms of farm or any items or damage output at all. And I think that's going to prove very, very useful for this bot lane that UTD is still worried about, because there's a 2-level difference here between Jinx and Draven. Draven's got hands on ult and Jinx does not. We're seeing red side Columbia College start this dragon. Don't think UTD is in position to contest this, so they're just going to let it go.
Yeah, I mean, Draven with like a 2-level lead is absurd. That more than makes up the gold. Not only a 1-level lead, but still quite massive.
Right.
1-level leads mean so much.
Really, really does. But in the meantime, we're going to have Hukari on Wukong taking Rift Herald for UTD's side. Silas getting poked out quite a bit. Might be looking to take it back soon, or maybe calling for a gank. We have some camps being stolen here. Bard still roaming up. And Vi is trying to get her hands on Raptors.
Looking for a player on mid. 3-man dive.
Ooh, this could be crazy. There's Vi is over. Gonna already have a flash away from Silas. He has the Bard ult stolen, but could not use it in time.
I mean, that's Colombia's strength. They are very good at diving with the Bard Ahri Vi. They just want to make plays towards the bot side to get their Draven ahead.
That's right. But even in the time that they left their Draven alone, the CS gap is still, in Draven's favor, and he's still been fine. He's soaking up so much EXP and taking as much farm as he can. It hasn't been too much of a problem. Bot lane doesn't quite have the best engage comp. Really just good from poking from afar, but the Draven's keeping himself safe. There's really not much that UT's bot side could do. So definitely playing that smart. We have Orin trying to walk in this bush. Nars then push him off. CS is looking mighty even between the two. It's really been a pretty uneventful lane. Minus that one time Nar almost picked off a kill off Orin, but Orin just ult to get away. This is a decent engage on Orin, but Nar is just going to hop his way out. Maybe try to poke out some percent health damage.
Yeah, as we can see, Wukong already got his Sunder, a massive item spike. He's by far the strongest champion in this game. Sunder, a huge item. Its passive is just incredible. I'd expect once everyone starts getting their 1-item spikes, Colombia will still have a bit of an advantage. They'll want to contest more, they'll want to go for more dives. But once 2 items start rolling around, UTD will start getting stronger and stronger and scale up.
Yeah, Silas has caught out Bard in their own jungle. Is going real hard to commit here, and now is trying to grab Ahri as well. The rest of the team is kind of positioned around Dragon Pit. Bot lane couldn't quite pick up on anything though. And they're going to be returning to their normalcy.
Ghost pop from Jinx as she goes for a 1v1 with Draven.
Ooh, it's a big fight here. Look at all this axe damage output. I have that Bard ult. Both are going to live. That's a very intense fight. But we have Bard going in, taking so much damage. There's a knockup. And we're getting Rift Herald summoned as well. Look at all this tower damage. The Jinx ult is going to go down. And Bard is out. All of this tower damage from Rift Herald, allowing all that plating for the extra gold that bot lane would really, really like to have. Despite, it's already not super sizable, but relevant gold lead that UTD has. Just another kill for Jinx makes that Draven a little bit less relatively strong.
Yeah, now Jinx 3 kills, probably going to get first item Kraken Slayer on base. I'd start expecting her to beat Draven in the 1v1.
Ooh, there's a big fight here up top, though, and Yoshiwi is going to take a win off there, and we have a blue side TP to try and neutralize this Vi. Nar was already dead by the time Vi could even get in, so Vi is going to back out, and Yoshiwi is going to take a nice recall home with a slight CS lead and an entire kill up in lane. Honestly, the tides are definitely turning in UTD's favor now. Not only is UTD's bot lane kind of caught up with the very early pressure. I mean, Draven's damage output is still ridiculous. But the rest of these lanes, especially, Hukari on this Wukong, doing so much damage, having so much presence, and even having Yoshiwi pull out that 1-kill, 1v1 win up against the Nara. It's just so big, and this Ahri is so caught out right now. Flashes in and out. There's the Jinx rocket for the snipe, but Silas is going to take way too much damage from Bard, rather slowed down, and too many tower shots. He's not going to be able to make his way up, but that's another kill or rather first kill here for Bard. But now I have Yoshiwi pulling up this monster of a tank, this Ornn.
Yeah, I mean, UTD looking in a great spot right now. They're playing the late game scaling comp, and they got ahead early. It's just more than what they wanted. It's incredible. Colombia falling a bit behind. I liked their aggression early, but plays just didn't work out. Fell apart a bit. I still believe that they can maybe make a comeback, though.
Right, Draven himself is not properly shut down. It's just more so that Jinx is relatively scaling up. And if she decides to keep going around and roaming, well, ooh. Nice picked up kill there from Draven. Goes for the ult since they did have vision. That ward is very sneaky.
Almost 800 gold from that kill alone.
That is huge. That is huge. We were talking about how massive UT's jungler was, and giving that to Draven is exactly what Columbia College would want. Next thing is Columbia College Draven's going to be looking to shut down the Jinx, and that puts him right back into the game, exactly where he wants to be.
I mean, yeah, Jinx's item lead just evaporated. Draven's actually up items now.
Scary to see what the next fight was be. I was already looking at those Draven axes cleaving, like chunking 1/4, 1/3 health off that Jinx. That fight did not look like it was going to last very long until the rest of UTD came in to help. And even then, Draven was still able to manage to find a way as the rest of his team kind of sacrificed themselves for it, considering how big of a win con Draven is. That's not very surprising. And now we have Columbia College setting up around Dragon. We do have Silas coming from back. And Hukuri is set up where we see an engage here from Vi. That's a Q charge. Gets the Q, is going to back off. We're going to have the EQ damage. On for Wukong. There's a Bard ult to neutralize so many players while they do as much damage as they can to Ornn. Ornn is not going to fall. Vi is still barely alive. The Ornn ult isn't going to get too much off. And Bard is looking for a way out as their rest of the team is taking too much damage. But there goes the Jinx. Crazy damage from the Draven. Silas is in super deep. Draven picks up a kill off of Wukong as well. And there's the Silas down 2. This is a pretty big loss here for UTD. Can they pick up the Janna as well? Not quite. She's going to be able to get away. But there is the Bard portal. They are hunting down this kill. Draven is bloodthirsty. Going from 1 kill to 3. There's a blue side teleport. He's tanking some tower shots. Is he going to get too greedy for his own good? In the meantime, the rest of Red Team is able to pick up Dragon. But now here's Ornn. Not willing to engage on the rest of the team. That is huge for Columbia College.
I mean, it was quite massive. Columbia was 3K down, and now they're almost a K up, which is insane.
Oh,
This
and
Draven
that's
is exactly what they wanted. It's getting very far ahead.
Yeah, that's that was him pulling up into the fight, being, I'm still in this game. You're shutting down my teammates. You're not shutting me down. Sure, your Jinx is crazy. I'm going to two-shot him with my axes. And now that Jinx is gone, and that gives so much leverage for the rest of Draven, especially since Silas is diving in deep on the Ahri and not going in for the Draven too. They really, UTD did not have their sights focused on the big moneymaker of Columbia, and Columbia definitely took that to heart and took that to advantage, and that's the big reversal of fortune there. Next Herald is up as well. Got a couple minutes before it despawns. Probably going to pick this up relatively uncontested. I don't see UTD trying to pull together for a fight here, especially since bot lane is kind of centered around mid here, and Hukuri might just get himself caught out. But there is Wukong maybe trying to go for a steal. Is not quite able to get. We're going to have Ornn ult to disengage, but Hukuri got so caught out. He's gone, but big knockup from Ornn. We have Jinx here caught out, and there's Draven is done. Completely gone. And now blue team is trying to clean up the rest. That's actually, despite Wukong going down super early, that was a really good cleanup from the rest of the team. Fast initiation and good TP from Silas. There's a dive here on tower as well. We're just going to have a Gnar TP back to keep himself alive. But wow, UTD puts themselves back in the game too. The early shutdown on Draven is nothing to laugh at.
Yeah, I mean, slight misplay by Columbia going for a Rift build after 14 minutes. Tower plates are down, so not as much value as the early Herald. I wouldn't think it was worth sending all 5 people for.
And honestly, that made me think he was so guaranteed too. They're just gonna be able to walk away from that. UT wasn't gonna try to contest. I didn't even think about Silas's teleport or bot lane being ready to follow up after Ornn just walks in. Walt said even though Wukong went down so early, Ornn was able to land up such massive knockups with both ult and his other move as well. It was a lot for Columbia to handle properly, and Jinx was getting so much steam rolling from there.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows that Draven is Columbia's entire team right now. He died early, the fight was lost without even any counterplay at all.
Yeah, and I think UTD is now very cognizant of that. After losing the second Dragon to Columbia College and Draven just kind of rolling over UTD's team, they're realizing, yeah, okay, this is the main guy to look out for. This is the carry. Don't dive in on anyone else. Don't worry about anyone else. Wow, Jinx was right outside of Vi range, but that doesn't even matter. There's going to be a Vi ult, and Draven gets such huge damage. Hukuri is caught out. Crazy read from the Vi to catch it with the Q. We're going to have Hukuri get a flash out as well. Janna's going to have to disengage the rest of the team, but that was a good pick. Yeah, they really committed to just getting that Jinx.
That Jinx just got eviscerated by Draven. Killed in 2 autos.
That was all it takes. With axes, that's all Draven needs. And now we have Bard terrorizing the jungle, not giving Wukong or Janna any room to breathe as they're going to take down tier 2 turret in the mid lane. Yeah, it's another proc here on tier 1. But we have Hukuri trying to turn this fight around. It's going to go down, but does get a couple of knockups. There's one big knockup onto Ahri, but Ahri is not being focused. Going to go down to the Jinx Rocket. And Vi is being focused on next. She's going to fight her way back to turn around on Silas. Draven is still in this game, but Draven's going to decide to disengage, and Bard's going to go for a bit of a sacrifice. But Jinx has such high movement speed, probably going to be able to pick up a kill here onto Vi, but is actually focused on Draven as the more higher priority target. Vi's going to try to turn around, whiffs on the Q. Great micro spacing from Jinx as Draven goes down as well. Great play from Jinx all around there. Knowing that Vi's going to try to turn this around and maybe give Draven some room to run away, she walks back just a little bit and doesn't get knocked up by the Q and now gets so many more kills. This is such a ride here for Jinx. I don't think Gnar can contest this. There isn't much hope on his own. Now they're going to go straight for Baron at the 20-minute mark. I mean, red team is no stranger to crossing over walls with Bard, though. They're trying to pull up real fast onto this Baron.
No real hope for a steal, though. Pengu's still in base.
Nice, we do have Sylas up in the fight. Ahri dives straight in. She's going to get bursted right down. Going to have to fight her way out. Gnar is in with Mega. Big damage with ult as well. And Q. Janna is down. Jinx is down. Big turnaround here from Columbia. And that's Yoshiwi's down as well. Baron is going to be taken by Columbia. And that is an ace. Great turnaround. A little bit greedy from UT there from going for that 20-minute Baron when the death timers aren't quite long enough. They didn't have enough damage output. They didn't have quite enough health. The team just wasn't organized and ready to take that Baron. It really seemed like a great play. And now Columbia is going to walk up on this already pretty unhealthy tier 1 with Baron buff. This could be pretty huge.
I mean, UT just took so much damage from the Baron. There were only 3 people there. None of them really tanks. Columbia just was able to poke them down, and the Draven ult killing Janna was huge.
Right, they're going to pick up this inhib and also path towards third dragon. And there's just no way UT to contest this, effectively making Columbia on soul point.
5k gold lead for Columbia. Ahri is now pretty strong. She's going to get the Shadow Flame on base, which increases her damage by a ton.
There it is, Hex Tech. Yeah, this is looking pretty scary for UTD, despite how we were saying, it seems like Columbia's comp is really over-reliant on Draven. A lot of this game has been about positioning and what calls and fights to take, right? It seems like both teams are pretty adequately strong, and it's just whoever got the proper jump and proper positioning over the other, it spells everything. Even though it seems like UT has such like a 1v5 team comp, or rather 2v5 with like Wukong and Orange, just so much knockup, so much CC, it's not enough really to stop. I mean, we have Vi being pretty much invulnerable. We have Gnar coming to these fights late and applying so much pressure after the fact. It's almost like these guys are taking turns CC dumping, and whoever ends up being later actually has more time and more room for their ADC to try and do as much damage as possible. And it's scary. It's scary both sides, because I honestly feel like every fight's a flip. It feels like, oh, we see UT have an advantage, and it seems like their comp is more suited to hold an advantage. They'll be fine, right? And then Columbia manages to come back with a crazy call. Then UT is able to help protect themselves a little bit and try to get greedy with a Baron. And then Columbia comes back and picks it right off UTD. It's just like these guys are going back and forth all the time.
That's quite a tipsy-turny game. Good thing about UT Dallas's comp is they do still have Engage to try to kill Draven. They have the Sylas with Ahri ult, they have the Wukong, they have the Ornn ult. They can still try to make a pick, and if they do make that pick, the fight will be way more UTD favored.
Oh yeah, Vi is pretty caught out here, and Ahri is caught out as well, but both are not close enough for it to be a huge commitment. They're looking to take this top lane tier 2. Doesn't seem like much of a fight's really going to break out. It's just whoever can get the farm, whoever can get the tower damage. UTD is backing off. This is a lost cause. Objective after objective, it seems like Columbia is encroaching and just with more and more map pressure all around, right? They've got 3 dragons. They have Baron. So many towers across top and mid, all the way up, pushing up to the tier 1 or even inhib. It's looking pretty rough for UTD right now. It's almost a 7k, over a 7k gold lead at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what Columbia wants. They're doing their job very well, just slowly expanding their gold lead. It's only been 2 minutes, and they went from 5k to 7k.
Right, even if Gnar and Vi don't scale the greatest, they are getting their job done as tanks and CC bots, where Vi needs to lock down Jinx, just ult, doesn't matter what else you do to me, and Gnar needs to get in there, just be a disruptive, be annoying, land some stuns, get some decent damage off with Q, and most importantly, if you can get a huge ult into the wall, big stun, right? But all you really need is Draven to be safe and throwing those axes and just chunking people's health bars, right? Especially since once you have big players like Sylas, Wukong, and of course Jinx down, there's not a whole lot left for Janna and Ornn to really be doing. And it really just is the Jinx, right, in terms of high damage output. Of course, Sylas is someone to be afraid of, but in this game hasn't really had to get a big ball rolling. 40 CS down from Ahri and a couple kills down too. Ooh, this is a catch. Tries to burn ult here too. There's a flash. There's a follow-up. Is Gnar going to go down here? We do have Bar to try and help support. Gnar's Mega is rising, and Draven is in to try and turn this fight around. Misses the stun, but big damage. Hukri is going to go down yet again. Jinx does have the range lead here, chunking down with these rockets. Gnar is about to go down. Here's the Ornn ult, trying to lock down this Draven, is able to get the knock up while Bard goes down, and rest of blue team is able to show up and take down that Draven. Great pivot from UTD, and of course great awareness for Ornn to just ignore everyone else and walk towards the Draven and just hold him hostage as Jinx cleans up the rest of the fight. But in the meantime, you have some red top side big leads here by taking the tier 1 and inhib during the meantime. Still a big gold lead here for Colombia, even if the kill lead is going towards UTD. This is scary. At this point, because of how much map pressure is being applied to base, even if they got a pretty solid 3-kill fight there on some big players like Gnar and Draven, they still had a lot to lose.
Yeah, I mean, Colombia 6 has a 6k gold lead. And that was a 3v5, and Colombia almost won that. Like, if they played it just a little bit better, the game would have just been completely blown away from them.
Yeah, and now we've got Dragon less than 1 minute with Colombia on soul point. They're definitely looking to take this. We already have Vi positioning around, trying to grab some vision. Ahri is ready. Bard is pathing down. We have Gnar and Draven pathing towards mid lane. What a Bard ult. Maybe going a little bit too early. Not a hard initiation, but big damage here. Attempted to be on Ornn, but you know how Ornn takes it like a champ. And now it seems like they're both trying to return to the mid lane. Not sure. It seems like blue side's inhibitor might respawn soon, and that mid pressure might let up just a bit, which is what UTD really wants, because they're going to be looking to try and contest this Dragon team. Do not want to have Colombia on Hextech Drake here, or Hextech Soul rather. That's a big catch here onto Ornn. Ornn ult is popping, and they all scatter. Ornn ult goes straight down, maybe trying to see if they could proc a fight, but after Ornn ult is burnt, rest of team tries to engage. But it really just seems like Colombia created that space. It didn't really matter that they weren't able to get a lot of picks or a big fight. They were able to expand resources, and they no longer, UT no longer felt confident, and they also have their Nexus turrets to be worried about. And now we have red side on Soul.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little worried at first when Bard blew his ult and didn't get anything from it. But just the pressure from the topside inhib and the fact that Stellaric also didn't have ult, it just made it so that Colombia was so much more stronger than UTD in the situation. And they already had their place on, or they're already on the Dragon side. They're holding control very well.
Yeah, right. It seemed like once Ornn burnt the ult, Ornn already gave up, just sent the ult straight at team. Like, it completely crumbled. The plan crumbled. They all backed off. They all need to get back to base before a tower gets annihilated. And I mean, Colombia is in such a good position right now.
I mean, UTD's only goal right now is to just stall to Elder. Maybe they can get a steal. Maybe they can get a good fight. Hope those Jinx and Silas scale uphill just a little bit more.
Right, get those inhibs back up. Not having to worry about every time you leave the base, is someone going to backdoor and take, my Nexus tower is down, right? It's always an active threat that just doesn't help you apply pressure at the end, the rest of anywhere else on the map, nor does it let you try and get back into the game either, because contesting objectives gets so much harder. Baron is up. I wonder if Colombia is looking to take this, or at least just get some vision around it. Okay, we have an engage here from Hook. He's going to try to disengage. It's going to be another catch out. He's ulting preemptively. Nice dodge on the Bard ult. We have Silas potentially going in, but we're going to have Wukong ult on cooldown now, as Silas is going to break away as well. But this is, again, it looks like more advantageous spacing here for Colombia, rather. They're going to have to give up this Baron too.
Seems to be walking forward, maybe trying to contest. Silas does have the Vial, so he does have a guaranteed engage on Draven if he can live it.
Well, we have Ornn in to get charmed. Nice kiting from Ahri. There is an attempted steal, but it's not really going to go anywhere. A knock up. Oh, it's canceled with stopwatch equivalent for 80 carries. It's just stopwatch. My bad. And then Colombia is just going to clean up the rest of the fight. It's a triple kill here for Draven. That was a really good reaction. Right, having that ready on point to try and get rid of. Yujong Hukri Lee has left the game. That's
game.
That's game. Right. Yep. That's Baron take. All these inhibs are down. They're calling GGs in chat. That's gonna be. That's it. Support is gone as well. Game 1 is down for UTD.
Yeah, I mean, amazing play by Colombia. They might have made a few mishaps in the early game, but they brought it back. They played towards their strengths, and they just kept pushing their lead.
And here we are. Game 1 going to Columbia College against the odds. Right, I think the big thing here is that we were pretty. I don't think it was unreasonable to kind of doubt the game plan that we kind of saw that Columbia was shooting for. Here, right? We thought, it seems really Draven centric, but it seems like Draven could could do the thing.
Yeah.
Right? He was able to pull through. Was able to bully so hard in lane that Jinx was, even though picking up a lot of kills, Draven was completely unfazed.
Yeah.
I have such a significant EXP and farm lead over you. I don't even care if you're like a 3-1, 4-1, and I'm 0-1 right now, right? All good. And Draven was able to take care of everything else from there. All those fights are crazy. I mean, the excitement, the thrill of the flip back and forth that really made me feel like, oh, this is where UTD finally latches on, right?
Yeah.
This is where the team comp comes into play. But it really just seems like the decision making, some of the macro plays, especially on objectives, even though it seemed like Colombia may not have the best idea of how they're going to win all these fights, because it seems like, UTD's team was a lot more team fight centric. They were always ready for objectives. Their position on objectives was just so much faster, so much cleaner. We already saw them grouping up for that Soul Dragon in almost a minute before.
Yeah.
Right, UTD was not ready. Walking to the mid lane, we had all of Columbia College in the river right at Dragon Pit, making their presence known. Telling UTD, we are here, we're ready. Come and challenge us, and UTD crumbled. That Ornn ult whiffing especially, I could see it. Right, and then having that top inhib taken already, and having those Nexus minions going off on that Nexus tower, it's rough. Too much pressure on UTD here. What kind of adaptations do you think UTD could make moving into this next
first,
game?
I just expected Draven ban. Like, even though UTD got their bot lane ahead in the early game, they still couldn't negate the Draven. This guy was just too good.
Yeah, he really was. He really was absolutely chunking damage. And I was also really thinking that, we had such a strong, UTD had such a strong early lead in jungle, right? Wukong had big kill advantage, was up 2-0, and also had the 20 CS lead over the 0-2 Vi. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, this is huge, right? Insane map pressure. Now maybe Wukong can neutralize some of these bot lane ganks and maybe even try getting that ball rolling for their own bot lane, right? But it seems like the rest of Columbia College is like, we will die for Draven, and they'll sack themselves for Draven actively. That was another big thing. And then Draven was able to stay alive a lot more times than UT was probably hoping for. And that helps him keep that lead. That helps him keep that pressure. And I mean, he just knew what he was doing. And the rest of the team that they're doing too, they're like, Draven is our win con. We will do it. Like one of those earlier fights that we saw UTD try diving pretty hard on Ahri. And of course, Ahri, big carry to worry about too, but it's like, that's not the win con.
Yeah.
Right? And in future fights, UTD knew, okay, we got to go for Draven. We got to worry about this. Right? But I mean, didn't even matter in the end at this point. Draven already had the ball rolling. The position was already there. And it also seemed like UT had a bit of a trigger finger.
Yeah.
We're seeing a couple preemptive Wukong ults, couple preemptive Ornn ults sometimes, and you're just like, that really reduces the significant team fight capacity that UT has. It feels like a lot of it hinges on that. So letting those burn so early gives Columbia College that confidence and that objective lead there. Like that is objectively exactly what Columbia College wants. If you're getting rid of huge AoE CC that UTD has to offer, it's like, well, there's not a whole lot of team fight left for UTD to fight.
Yeah, I feel like UTD could just never find that perfect engage onto Draven where they get the kill, nobody really dies for it. And they can, as soon as they do that, then the matchup's starting to be a lot more UTD favored. Yeah, it's been an exciting game one. I am really, really hyped to see where things go in game two, both on UTD and Columbia College's side. Right, team comps, I'm sure they're both aware of what strengths and weaknesses somewhat they had. But at the same time, maybe Columbia College is like, it was fine. We won, right? And I don't blame them for thinking if it ain't broke, don't fix it type deal, right? But we won't find out until we get into the next draft. So stay tuned because things are heating up. We'll see you guys soon.
Feels like heaven. You make me hate all my sins. You are my religion. My religion. I have a million reasons to leave you, but I have a billion reasons to keep you. I have a million reasons to leave you, but I have a billion reasons to keep you.
Welcome back, everybody. We have UTD versus Columbia College. This is a best of 3. We just finished up a crazy game 1, flopping back and forth. Currently, it is 1-0 up in Columbia College's favor. I'm really excited to see what adaptations UTD has to make moving in. And of course, that all starts with the draft. So let's get right into it. So we're going to have UT on red side here, and now Columbia College switched over to blue side. So UT is still going to stick with the Misfortune ban. Now we're getting a NAR ban from Columbia College's side.
It's strange seeing they were the ones that picked it.
Yeah, they were the ones that did pick NAR last game, and I'm not entirely sure what they're going for there. I don't know. Yep, I don't know. Soraka is still there from last game. Silas is a good adaptive ban, seeing that they did have Grussel Grind, so UTD's mid laner on Silas last game. And there's still, although it didn't seem like it super came into effect, we did even have Draven have stopwatch for Silas stealing Vi's ultimate, which is crazy, right? Draven had ready for that, just no crazy CC on him at all. He's just going to stopwatch out of any of those unfortunate situations. I thought that was really awesome, by the way. I wanted to point that out earlier. Just getting rid of the problem is probably fine. And now we're going to also get the Udyr pick up top. Maybe this is kind of like a double mind game thing where they know UTD's top laner does play Udyr and also probably plays Gnar then, and that might be a counter pick matchup type deal where they want to get rid of Gnar and then just first pick Udyr, and then have UTD have to deal with that Udyr in top lane, which you did mention being a pretty strong threat before. And but you know, since UTD's top laner issue, we also did play Udyr on top, might have his own introspect on how he wants to handle that kind of matchup and what champs he wants to take up top. We'll see what pick they go for first here. It's going to be an Ahri. Wow, I'm seeing a lot of banning and or picking the enemy. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's some weird, like, you're banning your own champ and you're picking enemy champ, and I'm not entirely sure what UTD's game plan is here.
Yeah, I mean, Ahri just a super safe blind pick and basically pick no matter what. It will be good.
Yeah, and now since Silas is out of the picture too, that's just one less thing to worry about. I have an Ashe and bot lane.
Ashe, of course, flex pick, can we go bot lane support? Actually, recent patch, her bot lane, or her ADC was buffed. Might actually be viable now.
Yeah, it's going to be a commit to the Ashe lock. And Draven is still left unbanned, by the way, from UTD's side. Draven is still on the table.
Yeah, I can respect that UTD being very confident, saying, you might have gotten ahead of one game, but we won't let it happen again.
Right. I guess they're going to have that more controlling, almost utility-esque ADC with just heavy, like, slow down, keep that distance, poke, and just sit back and farm, and then use those ults to engage whenever possible with Ashe to try and oppose Draven. If Draven is still on the table for Columbia College's team comp, we'll see. We have the Talia pick here.
Yeah, Talia very good into Ahri, can press that E, and then it'll stun Ahri when she dashes. And pretty just safe matchup.
The Jhin pick down bot this time.
Wow, quite interesting. I don't think Jin's very good in early rotation, especially as a blind pick.
Right. Although ADC is on for UTD side, and if this is what Columbia College feels is confident for their team composition, then by all means. I'm not really sure how UTD is going to intend to respond to this now. We still have support, top and jungle open. There's the Nasus top, so that is a classic from UT's top laner. He does love playing Nasus, and he does quite a lot of it. He's a big fan of it. So top lane is just going to be a farm fest for him, slamming that Q, becoming a big dog, and getting things taken care of.
I mean, right now from Columbia College, they're really just lacking a lot of consistent AD damage. Jhin, not very good into tanks. I don't see him really killing the Nasus very well. So that might be what UTD looks to ban out.
Right, UTD's kind of got, especially with Nasus, just has a one button you don't get to play the game anymore, especially on 80 carries where reducing movement speed and attack speed is kind of everything they need to kite and hit you. So invalidating Jhin effectively by just pressing R, walking into a team fight, and pressing W on Jhin is pretty bad for Columbia College, I would think. And it doesn't. UT doesn't seem like it has any shortage of like trying to initiate fights with stuff like Ahri Charm or big Ashe load or an Ashe ult, right? And I don't think UT is going to let up with that sort of engage and catching people out with the rest of team comp. But we are getting Nautilus and Lulu. Nautilus banned out from UT side, and Lulu's highlighted here from Columbia College's side.
Yeah, Jhin just wants a CC support that he can follow up on with his W. That's right.
All right, keep the root and then just pop those autos, get that 4th crit hit, do some big damage. Although last time we did kind of see that engage support would be very fitting for Columbia College's team, and I was about to mention they picked Bard instead, but now since Bard is up on the chopping block, We might be seeing some active adaptation here from Columbia College in terms of what support they want to go with to pair with Jhin. Maybe it was already something that they weren't considering anyway. You know, they picked Jhin, they don't really want Bard for it. This could be a useless ban. Who knows? Who knows? Trundle banned out. Really afraid of the jungle.
Maybe wanting to pick a tank jungler then. Something like the Sejuani, Jarvan.
Let's see what's Hukri shooting for. There is the Jarvan he had highlighted not too long ago. Just gonna commit to it. Otherwise, you know, as you mentioned, although I haven't seen any sort of contestment on Hecarim at all yet so far, whether it be a highlight or it be a ban, right? It's kind of been left open. Yeah, he's just gonna sit and take the Jarvan. And now what's left here on Columbia College's side, we still have jungler open and support. That's right, yeah. Tully will be mid-lane matchup against Rory.
Yeah.
Presumably. Right.
This Udyr could be flexing to the jungle. Which is what we might be seeing with the Camille Hover.
That's right. Guess we just assumed they would be playing up top. Makes sense that's not necessarily the case, though.
Camille walking. What will Columbia College pick for their support?
Mumu
would work well with the Jhin and the Camille. Good engage.
Bandage toss in, land a good AoE ult, have Camille ult in, lock down Ashe. Jin's popping from the back, Talia's applying good AoE, and then Udyr can also run up. I'm seeing some more cohesion here, at least.
Yeah.
First 3 picks at first, I was a little bit concerned. I wasn't quite sure what Columbia College is going for, but now that I'm seeing the Camille and a Mumu, I'm feeling a little bit more from Columbia College. It feels like they've got some sort of team fight plan to kind of play around.
Yeah.
Now let's see what we got from UT's side. The Janna is going to be ran back. Oh, just kidding. There's the Braum. Braum Ashe got the Freljord crew. How are we feeling about UTD's team fight here? We do have Jarvan ult, pretty solid utility, but at the same time it is terrain, and it's something that people can get around with flashes not too quickly. It's not a hard stun of anything, but it's good group up. We do have the Ashe era to worry about.
Yeah.
And that's pretty big here, I feel like, from UTs, because other than that, it feels like we might be just getting picks from stuff like, I don't know, maybe a Braum stun from Stormstorm Command, or a Braum ult, gets a good amount of knockup. Otherwise, it'd be an Ahri charm, because Janna is not really an engage support, rather an anti-engage support. And that will be helpful against the Camille and Mumu, especially in the laning phase, where Mumu's going to be sitting in bushes trying to bandage toss, trying to find a way in. And then for Jhin to drop the W and root Ashe, and that's big damage. That could be really bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know where UT's team fight's really going exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really favoring towards Columbia College right now. UT doesn't really have many tanks to deal with, only Nasus, and Camille can deal with them very well, so that Jhin can really pop off in fights.
Ooh, true. That is a fear to have. But at the same time, last time we were talking about draft and we were feeling confident about, the mid to late game team fight potential comp is looking good for a certain team. So therefore, the other team, has this more scary win condition, right?
Yeah.
Now it's kind of, we got the fates a little bit flipped here, where it's like Columbia College has more of this cohesive team that we can see going somewhere. And it seems like UTD. Now, what is UTD's win con here? Because it doesn't seem like Ashe is quite that hard carry ADC either. What do you think they'll be looking at?
I mean, I think they just have like a cohesive team fight. No particular carry, but everyone can do their part.
Okay. Everyone just has to be looking at the Jarvan lands everything, tries to get as much AoE with Ahri, right? Ashe can be utility ADC as best she can too. Braum will be getting in there. And then we have, we'll see where things go.
Yeah, I mean, lots of utility with the Ashe. I would expect them to play towards bot side. Nasus, not really much to do.
Yep, he's just got to stay back and farm. And he's got to be a monster for it. I'll tell you right off the bat. As everyone knows with Nasus, that infinitely scaling Q is going to be awesome.
Yeah, but will the Camille just let him free scale up? And does he even outscale if he gets enough Q stacks? I'm not sure.
See, that's always a question, right? Because eventually it does feel like there's a point of diminishing returns where you want your Nasus kind of sitting with the team and not just sitting in lane spamming Q. Because eventually it becomes a point where it's like your Q will always two-shot people.
Yeah.
But like it won't get any better than that. So there's no reason to keep sticking to stuff like that. So that dynamic though of where Nasus is going to be shooting for, I have to land my W on Jhin. Oh, I'm getting locked out by Camille. I'm getting annihilated with true damage by Camille. Like, how am I going to find my way in? Or I'm getting CC'd by too much stuff. I'm kind of feeling there's a little bit of weight there on Nasus when it comes to later on to try and prevent people from popping off. But then there's also things to prevent him from preventing others from popping off too. That it becomes all this like multi-layered dynamic mind game. So who knows? Who knows where things will go? It's at this point I feel a little shaky about predictions now after what happened last game.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna be hoping for a fantastic game. We'll be hopping over to spectator delay, and we'll see you guys on the flip side.
When you're back to the wall, so I say later, my aim moving small. Woo.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're hopping into game 2 here of this best of 3, UT Dallas versus Columbia College. We got the side switches, trying to get too disoriented. These are some wildly different team compositions from what we were looking at before. It doesn't seem like, as we kind of talked about before, because the big thing that I like to look out for a lot is win conditions, and it really doesn't seem like UT Dallas has anything super significant, while Columbia's kind of got their main combo that they're looking for in the later stages of the game. I'm kind of curious. Now let's talk a little bit more about like laning matchups here. How are you feeling like Camille Nass is going to go in the laning phase, right? When Nass just wants to sit back and farm, stack those Qs, how much of a bully is Camille going to be?
I mean, I feel like Camille can bully at Nasus, especially with the what's his name, the jungler.
Hukari?
Udyr. Yeah, especially with Udyr ganking the
Udyr,
Nasus. I feel like the Camille can heavily win against Nasus. They might even want to punish it.
That makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, a pretty crazy invade here from UT Dallas' side. They're walking into the bush. There's the missed Braum Q, so you're not quite getting that slow, not quite getting that stun. That could have been a huge gen pick right there.
Yeah,
Either they have to burn some sums or burn some damage, but otherwise you got Jarvan get rooted. And the opposite as red team is, or rather blue team is trying to apply so much damage here. Again, trying to throw around a stun. Okay, we have a go in from the Mumu. Mumu's gonna go down as a first blood to Ashe, but in the meantime, Braum goes down in the back. Big trades here. Death after death, kill after kill. They're all low health. We've got 2 high health players from UT Dallas. We're going to get some more sums burned. I don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, Ashe and Braum super strong in the early game, and same with Talia and Udyr, respectively. They both traded 2 for 2, which is nice. Something we didn't catch off screen was there was a level 1 play, and Rory blew flash for Mumu's flash.
Ooh, gotcha. Yeah, this is, that was kind of chaotic. And then now everyone's just going to return to, just going to go sit back and lane and just kind of.
Yeah, Jin with the red buff, though. Very strong.
Ooh, there's the root already after getting 1 auto. Tries to walk up for better positioning. Already turning this around with the Braum stun. And we have Ashe. We have a Mumu trying to walk up. Jin's going to break out. Not quite to commit to any sort of kill. There's the W for spacing. We're just going to go sit back to sitting and farming again. As we are. But Amumu is way lower than Braum. Amumu does have a much better engage, though. Bot lane's going to have to worry about this just a little bit, considering how low Ashe is.
Yeah, I mean, Jin might be low, but with a bonus red buff health regen, he's going to be up and running pretty soon. Especially with Fleet.
Chilling under tower. We're going to be seeing a crazy level 4 gank like we did last time, where mid and jungle all pulled up. Who knows?
I mean, probably. Jordan's already pathing bot.
That's right, but we do have Udyr on the top side this time. Maybe trying to go for that Nasus bully. Ooh, we have Jarvan here trying to turn this around. Mubu's going to go down. No assist for Jarvan. Just wants to hard focus to giving all of that to Ashe. But now look at all these tower damage that both Braum and Jarvan took, but baited Jin right into the bush. And Jin's going to have to flash out to get out of there. Oh, no, Ashe is not going to go down the tower. I thought that was it for Ashe. The minion?
1 minion?
Oh, Ashe has got 1 HP there. So close. All 3 of them are dancing with death. There's a W that could have killed Ashe. That easily could have killed Ashe. And now Jin's going to sit back and lane. Nothing too crazy seemed to have happened top lane.
Yeah,
as Nasus
Camilla's
walks back.
probably, as expected. She's going for a bit of recall. Hopefully can pull out an item lead and maybe punish Nasus more. Huge CS discrepancy in the mid lane, though.
Right, yeah. Ahri has been hard bullying. Look at this 2-level advantage here. Talia cannot walk up. And kind of surprising, too, considering it seems like Talia's got, it doesn't seem like any lack of range on Talia's part either.
Yeah.
It really just seems like, I'm honestly missed most what laning phase was like. I really don't know what Grussel Grindset would be doing over
just be
Talia.
outplaying his opponent in lane.
Yeah, it's a crazy CS gap and all that damage. There's the charm. Big damage here from Q and W, and they're now 1/3 health on Talia. She's too scared. Not much that she can do here. Having that Ashe be 2-0 in the bot lane, really solid here for UTD. Oh, this is a catch. This is a big catch here. Udyr and Talia Umumu all pick up the Braum. Braum roamed up just a little too far up on his own. Getting caught out. Now Dragon's going to be coming up soon. Again, seems like Columbia College's bot lane has definitely got that laning advantage. And it doesn't help that Braum left and died for it. Now he's behind on EXP, funneling a little bit more into Ashe, but Ashe isn't that hard carry ADC that, Jin and as we previously saw, Jinx were. What a gank, though, getting in super far onto Ahri, and Amumu is going to pick up this kill for Talia. And now that is a support roam that UTD kind of wanted with Braum earlier, trying to maybe secure something on Talia, but instead it's going to flip right back onto Ahri.
Yeah, really punishing that Ahri that didn't have flash.
Now we have Ashe alone here in the bot lane. Udyr maybe chilling in this bush to try and run up and pick something. We have a Mumu as well. We're going to see a Banitosh over wall. That would be insane. And we still have Braum not here to help out. Level 2 in River Bush. Ashe is all on her own.
This wave looking quite scary for her. It's pushing out.
We have Braum walking up by himself. He walked up really far. I thought he had vision on both champs here. Gets locked down by Jhin as well, and he's straight down. Jarvan getting caught here in the middle too. Tries to EQ out. Look at all that damage. And Mumu is not letting up. He's going to flash out. Ahri now the next subject to all of this terror, but Udyr is still running in, trying to apply as much jungle pressure as he can. Ahri's going to try to go back and farm. Ashe is left all alone to her own devices. Oh, Jarvan's here back in lane. Just kidding. Udyr's going to hop over. This is bot lane pressure. Oh, Ashe, nice juke on the W, not to get caught out, but still, this move speed up and big damage. And Mumu doesn't quite want to commit to that banish toss right under tower, and now Udyr is tanking some damage. But this is a sizable goal lead. We can see a turnaround here from UT. We have Braum jump in. There's the EQ from Jarvan. There's nice auto turn some down some armor, but Mumu still be able to walk away with no stun, as is Udyr. And Jhin is still living. Ashe is in some dangerous spots here. Does have the level lead though, since Braum was gone for so long.
Already moving down. They're looking for a dive.
Could be a big turnaround.
She does have the ult.
Ooh, Mumu's gonna jump in and already dies for it early ahead of time. We're gonna have Braum miss. And the charm is gonna wash off from Ahri as well. She's got no mana. Ashe is super low. That Q is popping. Jinx is trying to walk up. There's the root. Flash in from Taliyah to pick up the kill off Braum. And definitely thirsting for more.
So yeah, 3 kills. Actually really strong right now.
Despite that CS difference.
Yeah.
Taliyah is able to come by and pick up 3 kills. Ooh, she's walking into the jungle here. Maybe gonna grab something on Jarvan. Ooh, she's whiffing a lot of that. There's gonna be a smite to heal up so much of Jarvan, but he is gonna get rooted by Jarvan. W is able to EQ out to safety. That was looking really scary. That smite health was definitely the main factor that saved him, along with the level up right there. Super clutch. Super clutch. The CS gaps are pretty significant. Top lane looking pretty even as it was last game. Now this time we have jungle looking even too.
Yeah.
With Udyr and Jarvan both making a lot of lane appearances while still trying to pick up as much of their camps as they can. Meanwhile in the mid lane we have a huge lead CS-wise, 30 CS up on Ahri, but there is a kill deficit. Despite that, Taliyah just got to level 6, while we do have a level 7 already on Ahri, holding back all these minions, picking up so much gold on her own. And the bot lane is kind of reversed. We had a pretty big lead for Jhin earlier. Ashe is trying to come and run it back now. She's had more safety, and Jhin was out of lane. But still good lead for Jhin, and he does also have, he's behind on kills at the same time. Jin's damage output is just more than Ashe's. Kind of weird back and forth here, but I think there's a bit of a support difference here.
Yeah, I mean, Ashe down CS, not really even her fault. It's just her support wasn't even there, and she was zoned off the waves.
Right, support was off meandering and dying out in the mid lane bush instead. It's a little tough here for Ashe to make too much of her gold's worth here. Here's Braum walking up to Mumu. Mumu's get the banish toss. There's Glacial Augment into the W from Jhin, and now it's completely walled off by Taliyah. It's a hard shutdown from Taliyah onto Ashe. Great roam. That's the movement that Taliyah stuff that's going to be looking for. And now, even though Ahri is chilling in the mid lane, maybe walking up to help secure this Herald, that's yet another kill for Taliyah, and that's a pretty sizable shutdown.
Yeah, I love how this Taliyah is playing so much impact on the map, and realizing that she doesn't really need to farm as much. She just needs to like press E, and has like so much CC.
Yeah, ooh, Udyr runs in here. I think this is a really weird fight from the take. He's going to end up losing the Herald too. Not quite sure. He's greeting really hard for that. That's a nice slow from Braum. Can he get the auto? AQ is going to miss until he's just going to walk away. But there's the flash stun, and Taliyah's going to go down. They were fishing for that shutdown, and they got it.
But it goes to Braum. Not very nice.
True. That is a little rough for Team Dynamic, but better Braum than no one at all.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have UTD now try to shake off this first dragon. Finally putting themselves, getting the first dragon of the series, actually. They didn't touch a single one last time. Still, I think Colombia is in a pretty good position here, despite the 500 gold disadvantage, considering Mumu's very good utility, and he's been landing those banish tosses when it counts. Jhin is doing just fine. Good CS, not a whole lot of kills, but he's not got no deaths either. right? He's got 3 assists, 1 kill. He's fine. And Talia here is scaling up pretty well with 4-1-2 and got some solid shutdowns under her belt, even if she's behind on CS. Camilla's doing fine, bullying out this Nasus, although Nasus does have 2 assists due to Udyr running around and getting a little too greedy up top. And Udyr himself having good map presence, but letting himself slip a little too much compared to Jarvan. I think things are looking pretty good both ways.
Yeah, I mean, something we have to know is that Nasus opted to lose.
Ooh, let's flash over it. Oh my goodness, this Ashe could not play the game. She was hard CC'd by 3 different champions. There's no way she's making it back from that. Oh, that's another banish toss in, just applying pressure at this point. Rest of Columbia College isn't really even there, but UT is going to disengage anyway. No drag up, but they're chilling around the drag pit anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this Jin's going to look very scary. With 3 squishy opponents on UTD, he's going to be a monster in the mid game.
Absolutely looking to pop people with autos and Qs. Ooh, nice charm. Big damage here off to Talia. That could have been huge if the rest of the team was there, but it's going to get knocked back into the Amuma Talia Udyr combo, and despite using ult, is not going to be able to make her way out. Jarvan's going to try and pick up a kill here, and does get the kill on Amuma, but Udyr's going to be able to run away.
I mean, something we have to know here is that for the UT Dolls, like half their kills are on this Jarvan, which isn't very useful at all. He's just supposed to be to engage. Meanwhile, in Colombia, all their carries got the gold.
Yikes, yeah, that distribution is bad. Even a pretty big shutdown on Talia went to Braum, of all people, so it's like the scaling potential here is not quite where it needs to be for UTD. But that, even with it's only being a 200 gold lead, wow. Look at these autos being traded, and look how much damage Ashe is taking. There's the juke on the first hit of the ult, not the second hit of the Braum is here to protect for the third. And presumably the fourth one goes. There it is. Just waiting for Moo to pull up. Ashe is super low. Muma's walking. Bronze be looking here to intercept that first bandage toss, but now we got potentially a fight looking here in the top lane after so much fire. And Talia actually went down bot, and Ashe is already down. Can Braum make it out? There's a bandage toss from Amumu, and Jin's going to pick up a double kill with Talia's help. She just continues to scale up. She has half the CS of her opponent lane. It's like she doesn't even care about the mid lane at all. All she's doing is going down bot lane, picking up kills on Ashe and Braum. Braum is 5 deaths, Ashe 3 deaths. Look at that, 8 deaths all total from bot lane with the 11 total kills from Colombia. They were having a great time, a feast in the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, this Talia's just playing it like a solo queue game. Doesn't give a shit about farm, just keep going for roams. Something I do want to note, though, in the top lane is Camille already has Sunder, while this Nasus opted in for Lucidity boots. Which is quite interesting, because whoever gets Thunder in this matchup wins.
Hard engage here onto Udyr. Is he going to be able to make it out? There is the Braum stun. He's still running. Look at all that move speed. Now they're going to have to commit to a dive. So much damage going all around from ETH's team. And now Talia is here. She is low. She's afraid. Narrowly dodges 2 hard CC with both the Charm and the Ashe arrow, and she is still alive. If she had any more health, I guarantee you she'd be greeting. She's still greeting. Doesn't even matter. She has 200 health left. Anything can turn around to her at any moment, but she wants all those kills. Amumu is there to support. Now Jin is here to walk around to pop. And UTD is definitely popping.
I mean, we can just see the power of the Talia here, stunning the Jarvan on the engage. With so many dashes on UT Dallas, there's not much that they can do with this Talia.
Right, having both carries of Jin and Talia scaling up is ridiculous. We had Jin earlier chilling, 1-0 against the 3-1 Ashe, right? And that's one thing. Like, oh, things are looking all right. Jin's just chilling for him. But now he is up and 6-0. Completely different story.
Yeah, I mean, he just played patient. He waited for his time and game.
Now we're chilling, looking for a bit of a reset. Next drag is going to be popping up in about 1 minute. And I mean, considering Columbia College's track record here, giving up the first dragon, a little bit uncharacteristic of their usual objective awareness. And I mean, they also gave up the Herald too, that UTD was able to drop down mid lane during that whole fight. But I would expect to see them prep for this next fight, because I mean, gold is pretty much even right now. But like we talked about before, the distribution seems to very much be Columbia College favored.
Mm-hmm. I mean, 4 members of Columbia College have their 1-item spike. I expect them to go for a fight. They would win. But their comp really truly shines with the 2-item spike, when Udyr can start getting out the Demonic, when Talia can get the Seraphs, Jin can get the Collector maybe, or not Collector, going LDR this game.
Yeah, Columbia College has a lot to offer for team fight potential, especially with Jin, just with that using that move speed buffs from here and there. Nice charm, and then just kiting as much as they can. This is a solid catch here onto Udyr. He's gonna go down. given up to Ash, or sorry, not Ash, to Ahri. And now Ahri is on a killing spree. There's an EQ in from Jarvan to apply some more pressure. Dragon is going to be up right now. This is what UT wants, spacing them off. Ash catches the Jarvan, or rather the Jhin, off guard. And is Ash actually able to win this 1v1? No. She is not. Although it was looking at like it early on, she was putting up a lot more damage output early in that fight. Jhin is going to be able to close it out. And up top, we had a skirmish as well. It looks like Taliyah decided to take a stop by. And that's going to be another assist here for Taliyah to help her scale up. And now start building a more solid lead for Camille, since she also has a 30 CS lead as well.
Yeah, I feel like most of this lead started because she got this under her first.
That's big. It's big. First tower is going to go down here in the mid lane after Red Herald going to UTD. But their gold still quite isn't favored to them. Oh, this could be a big fight here. Nice EQ engaged there from Jarvan though into the ult, and 2 members are already down. They just got absolutely melted by all the AoE that Braum, Jarvan, and Ahri were applying right there. That was great. Fast reactions there from Hukri. EQ, ult, do as much as you can. Now this is a Herald. That's big. That's big for UTD. Getting Ahri down there and getting rid of Udyr as well, yet again, is just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, 10 stack Dark Soul on the Ahri, she's going to hit. I mean, I feel like the gold lead is quite misleading, because I feel like most of it is just because of the CS lead in the mid lane, even though they're even items. And this lead has far more impact on the map.
True enough, true enough. Gold doesn't tell the whole story. Now, what will Columbia College be kind of looking for here next? It seems like their towers, both mid and bot, are kind of worn down. Maybe trying to set up something on Nasus to stop letting him farm as much. He's going to back off. Not like they're committing to anything too crazy. It's not too easy to farm in their lanes. I guess they're setting Ahri up top and had Nasus down bot. Ash trying to take mid. Seems like they're just kind of waiting for something to happen right now.
I mean, they're not really pressuring to doing anything. They scale just fine.
Yep, no objectives up to really contest at this point. They don't want super hard gank to take any fights. Jarvan is walking in, as is Braum. Camille might be aware of this and doesn't want to commit this fight super hard. There is Braum. Oh, she jumps back in. Big damage onto Nasus. He's going to ult and drop the W on her too. She's going to flash out of the Jarvan. Oh, what an incredible Ash snipe. And she's going to get stunned again for the Braum passive as well. That was insane. That Ash snipe was perfect positioning for the rest of the team to be able to follow up and apply enough damage to take her down. That's big. That's big.
Yeah, this Ash roll is just always something you have to be wary of. Like 3-second stun from across the map.
Absolutely huge. You are not playing the game. You can take your hands off the keyboard, maybe even take a swig of your nearby drink. There's not much you got. Not much you got left. Next round popping up at 240, but it seems like they're prepping for it almost until they decide to disengage. That map pressure and awareness is always nice to have. Mumu kind of on his own right now. Jhin a little bit too far, but maybe fishing for a banish toss onto Nasus, especially since the ult is down not too long ago either. Could have been something. Could have been something.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the next team fight's going to be huge. Both teams' carries have 500 gold shutdowns, which is a massive amount of gold to give.
Right, you got Ahri up against Jhin. Very, very curious to see how a proper team fight plays out, both because the UTD is no slouch. You know, the Jarvan EQ and ult combo on its own is devastating. And then just having Ahri sitting back and doing damage while all of that plays out is honestly good enough on its own for team fight. But once you throw in, you know, Ash pressure, Braum doing a lot more disruption, and even Nasus walking in and out, it could be something big for UTD. Could be something big.
Yeah, I'd really like to see UTD play with their pick comp with Ash, Ahri, and Jarvan. Send some bush, maybe catch someone off guard, get an advantage in that way.
Yeah, Taliyah trying to stack up on that farm, maybe close out that farm lead just a little bit. After her crazy tirade and going on an insane shutdown, she has died to even that a little bit more on her end, but still very powerful, still something to worry about. And, you know, Camille and Nasus showing down here to the bot. I think they're trying to commit to this tower, and they've got Udyr in as well. Nasus is going to try to find his way out, but he's going to get ulted by Camille. This is a hard commit from 3 members of Columbia College to really shut down Yoshiwi from UTD here.
Seems like Taliyah died on the top side, too.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot he could have done there.
Going for cross-map plays. Very nice of UTD to get a lead from that. Not give up everything.
That's what they're looking for. And again, you know, gold is still swinging in their favor, but it doesn't seem like there's anything super hard. Although Ahri is getting a lot stronger now. Yeah. Right? You gave that solo kill off Taliyah to Ahri again, and now you're letting her kills roll. And she's got high CS and like a lot of EXP, a lot more since she was actually taking farm and lane. You're making Ari a monster here.
Yeah, this Ari's got Void Staff second. I would expect her to go Death Cap third. She would be a complete monster. Starting to see actual full damage Ari.
Right, I'm almost willing to consider Camille more of a bigger player here for Columbia College than Talia is at this point, considering how much Talia is kind of letting that lead drop, and Camille is trying to make these bigger plays. Still, you know, two big names here on Columbia College's end makes it very, very scary for UTD, considering they've only really got this Ari on the come up now. But Jarvan has also been in the game the whole time. He's been doing his thing. But again, not the best distribution if he's going to be falling off later. But as of now, still solid. They want to be looking for a solid team fight with good hits from both Jarvan and Ari, and that'll take care of most of what UT is worrying about. But now Dragon is up, and Columbia College does have the positioning around it, but UTD already has two Dragons they're looking to get on Soul Point. There's an Ash Arrow. It's whiffed. That's pretty big, but it did allow them to have some spacing to push up a little bit. And now Columbia College is looking to make some play. Jin is really far up here. Dragon is getting dragged out of the pit. Udyr is trying to run up. He's getting caught a little bit. There's an EQ from Jarvan. It misses. A lot of AoE in the backline and the front two. Jarvan has to flash out. Ari is already down. Look at the craziness from Jin just popping people alongside Talia. UTD is dropping like flies right now. Jin's damage output is just unreal. And although Nasus was trying to do as much as he could with the double kill on two of Columbia College's members, Camille was able to help clean up the rest, and that was just a massacre for UTD.
Yeah, I mean, that was just very well played. Camille with an engage on two people, and then Talia also gets the follow-up WE, just eviscerates them, and Jin's cleaning up people in the back.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it was like a two-sided engage there, where it felt like Jarvan was getting melted really fast, and the Ari was getting melted really fast, and those are their two biggest names for UTD. After that, it's, you know, Nasus is going to get cleaned up by everyone else, and there's really not a whole lot Ash and Braum can do on their own. It's a great position, great awareness from Columbia College. I wonder how much of it was like kind of coincidental, because I feel it lined up a little too well. But of course, I bet if I doubt, of course, that was all entirely calculated. Great place, great place.
I mean, Jin has the IE now. He's going to be a complete monster.
Yeah, he's just going to keep scaling up. That's a big fight for him. He's getting shutdowns left and right. Pretty sure he got the Ari shutdown.
Yeah.
And that's huge. Now he's 10-0. This Jin is ready for anything. Now is Baron up. Are they really going to be looking for this? Oh, Ari's caught up by herself. Russell Grindset going to do about half health here with a Charm W and a bit of Q. But he's going to disengage, understandably so. Yeah, looks like Columbia College positioned around Baron. Maybe not committing to it, but definitely doesn't want to let UTD have that space either. Ooh, they might be running in on this Ari here. That tower is super low. This dive is not something that they fear. Oh, the team is pulling up both ways. Nice pushback from Talia. Crazy damage output onto UTD. Ari wants to try and come and save. Is able to pick up the kill in the process. Nice assisted disengage with the Ari arrow, but because the tower is too low and Braum is too low as well. Oh, nice juke. Ari was able to tank some of that. Aggro is actually able to pick off a kill from Amumu, and now we have tower tank shot from Udyr. Ash is finally here to help support, but Jin is still alive and still super crazy. Although the kill count might have gone in UTD's favor there, still really, really solid. I feel like position was actually a lot worse for Columbia College, but they were able to turn that around and still make that work in their favor. That's just crazy. Nice shutdown there. I believe that's one-on-one. Oh my goodness. Jin is popping the Ash right now. He could 1v2 these two very easily, even under tower.
I mean, this Jin's critting for 800 per auto.
Absolutely ridiculous. Do have to shout out Yoshiwi taking that 1v1 against Camille and winning it, as Nasus generally a lot more scary from his part. Jin is too fast. There's a red side TP. They are committing to this. Are they going to drop an ult here? We have Ari. We have Grussel Grindset ready. W's up. There's the EQ. Are we going to try? Everything hinges on this charm. There's the EQ. He's going to flash away from the ult. They expended so much there. They expended another Ash arrow, and they also expended Jarvan ult. Now their team fight is significantly weaker, and that's something they already weren't winning. And now this is a turnaround. We have a blue side TP with blue team walking up to give an EQ onto Camille, but she doesn't care. Ooh, diving in on the backline from Ari onto Jin, but he doesn't care. He's going to get 3 autos off and dead. Camille's going to pick up a kill from Braum. Jarvan's going to try to fight his way out with the EQ out, and Nasus is just trying to maybe hit a W and walk up and land 1 Q, but he's not able to make it in time. He got CC'd hard way too fast. All of these efforts to try and lock down Jin, they're almost like using him like bait. right? Having him sit in the back, having everyone dive on Jim, and everyone else is just able to clean around him. Jim doesn't even have to be autoing at that. He's just walking around.
And the UT Dallas just going one by one, feeding the Jin.
Ooh, that's a nice bandage toss over wall to pick up a kill off Hukuri Lee, who was looking to back earlier. Now Ash is all by her lonesome. She's going to have to blast Cone away. That's a Baron pick. This is a 5K gold lead now for Colombia. They are looking very, very strong with their 13-0-8, 231 CS at 25 minutes, Jin.
Yeah, I mean, I'd really like to see UT Dallas playing towards their pick off. Maybe just send Nasus to a side lane. We know that he beats Camille. And just playing to pick off people, because they clearly don't want a 5v5 fight.
Yeah, that's just not working anymore. They're, I mean, of course the goal is to go for Jin, but doing that so uncoordinated without any real game plan, having expanded resources already, because they hard committed, right? They wanted to have Ahri, Ashe, Arrow, and they also had Jarvan all spent. And once it was that, it was able to turn around. There just wasn't a whole lot they could do. And they kind of Hail Mary tried it, but they just didn't have much.
Yeah, I mean, this Jin also has just Cleanse and QSS now. You can negate both Ahri Charm and Ashe Arrow. It's going to be very hard to catch him.
Yeah, he's not. Oh, there it is. He flashes in. There's the Jarvan ult. And he finally is actually going to be able to... Oh, just kidding. He's able to pick up the kill from Hukuri. Despite the Ashe arrow, Talia is going to stopwatch. She's still alive. He's going to flash away. Grussel Grindset stays alive. Nasus trying to fight off this Udyr, but actually losing. Amumu using Banish Toss to try and disengage. We get a flash Q. And now barrier's up. But Nasus falls as well. Talia stays alive, as does Jin. 14-0-10. This is a pretty uncontested second dragon for Columbia College. Camille is diving in deep, getting that ult off onto Ahri, picking her off while Jin is just autoing and chunking these people. There's an ace. That's tier 2 tower. Dragon gone too. Columbia College's team is everywhere, and they're picking up all these objectives and all these kills, and they don't even all need to be together.
Yeah, I mean, UT Dallas isn't really going for a coordinated dive into Jin. They're just going in one by one, feeding him kill after kill.
Yeah, it's too scary. It's almost like they feel like they don't have enough time, and they just have that one neuron that's like, oh, Jin is their fire, and they have no other conception of like trying to maybe get a team together, trying to coordinate Ashe ult into Jarvan, which they even did, but they didn't have any damage dealers to follow up. Ahri was too far out.
So it's Jarvan solo diving into Jin. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah, what's he gonna do? He got his CC off. Now what? He's gonna auto? Like, there's not a whole lot left for him to do. It's just, it's too messy from UTD's side, and it's getting really, really scary at this point. 10 kill lead, almost 10k gold lead. Now we're even on Dragons. Baron already had gone to Columbia College before. It's just, oh, there's the W pop.
I mean, even with the Dragons, Columbia has 2 Infernal Drakes, which is insane for Jin.
Ooh, that Asher is hit. He's going to cleanse it off. He doesn't care. We're going to get the Jarvan ult, but he's actually going to fall to the Talia. And again, we have the Nasus just trying to unga-bunga his way in, but Udyr is here to help defend. In the meantime, so much damage is being done from Talia onto Braum. And other allies are falling too. Jin is going to sit back and ult. This continues to be legendary. Look at these snipes. That's a double kill. Jin is 16-0-14.
Yeah, and while we're focusing on this Jin, this Talia almost got a triple kill just off screen by herself.
I don't even know. Camille's just chilling in the bot lane. And that's an ace. That's an ace. Pulling up to that inhib tower. Oh, we got a TP. Are they going to push to end here? They are honestly very capable of it. The death timers are still kind of on their side here if they can get some huge damage onto towers, which they are.
Jin Camille one-shot the towers.
Yeah, Jarvan's up on his own. There's just not much they can do. And looks like this is going to be GG. Game going to Columbia College. 2-0 over UT Dallas.
I mean, just incredible play by RDC, carrying both games.
Yeah. They really just said, our win cons are ADC. And we thought, we were worried. You know, that looks a little scary, especially considering the team comp that UT was running beforehand. But honestly, that Draven gameplay was great, and this Jin gameplay was impeccable.
Yeah.
And I feel like that almost makes the difference. Where, like, to me, I'm not trying to bash on the team comp that Columbia College had before, but it seemed like Draven was kind of great, almost despite the way the team was mishmashed.
Yeah.
And now it's like, see what the ADC can do with a more cohesive team. Literally deathless. He goes like 18-0 or something ridiculous, right? Like, that's the potential that this ADC player has. Absolutely insane. I think UTD was still playing decently well early on. I feel like early on it did feel like a pretty evenly matched game, and we were kind of unsure where the Talia choosing to abandon lane and stick to bot lane was going. Because on one hand, yeah, you're picking up kills, but you're so far behind on CS, right? And it just kind of this weird trade-off that we weren't sure was going to lead into anything. And it kind of led to Lita fall off just a little bit, but she was still a threat and a menace in late game teamfights. But she was getting picked off just a bit by bit, and that's where Camille really started to make her rise. And was able to get solo kills on Nasus or like assisted kills on Nasus. And even though Nasus eventually came back, was able to solo kill Camille, at that point she was still too useful for teamfights.
Yeah, I mean,
and she was doing a good amount of AoE damage, good amount of true damage, and of course locking down the Ahri, who was important because the Ahri was on the come up.
Yeah.
And that was something that it was really smart and cognizant of the Camille to be watching out for, because Ahri is still squishy, right? Having her get locked down by Camille and just having Jid pop autos and Qs, chunked and gone. Ahri has nothing else left to offer. And Jarvan is a big player on the team, and the gold distribution was kind of scuffed because you need Jarvan to have that EQ, that big damage, that big CC with EQ ult, but then putting him to gold and trying to maybe make him play the role of a damage dealer when he's really not doesn't really work. And we can throw back to that time where he got the Jarvan ult into Ashe ult on Jhin by himself in the pit, and Ahri was nowhere to be seen. Yeah. Right? Like, there's just nothing. Ashe is too far. There's not a whole lot that could be done there. And even small things like the early shutdown going to Braum early on. Like, that was a whole 4-man shutdown, right? It could have been any of them. It just happened to be Braum.
Yeah, quite unlucky.
Unfortunate. But, I mean, yeah, that was a fun set to watch.
Yeah.
That was a fun set to watch. A lot of back and forth. Pretty strong start here to NECC. And the kind of games that we'll be seeing on these streams, I'm super excited to see where UTD goes. And of course, the teams that we play against as well, right? At the end of the day, collegiate esports is super exciting. It's always fun to see schools butt heads, you know, because you've always got different layers of like, oh, you know, sports or chess competitions, athletics, whatever, right? But throwing esports in that mix and building that sense of school spirit and school engagement with something like esports is super, super awesome. That's something that UTD prides itself on. Yeah. So it's definitely a train that we want to keep running. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. But that about wraps it up for our broadcast tonight. Once again, 2-0 from Columbia College over UTD. It was the best three, of course. First game that UT had to play here in NECC after activation matches. This is only the beginning. There's a whole season left to play. Really excited to see where UTD goes. It was an absolute pleasure casting with you, Neel.
Yeah, thank you. Same to you.
I'm Combo, otherwise known as Hrithik, Diablow. Both of our Twitters are right here. We had a great time. Any final words, any closing words for us?
I mean, not really. Columbia just played clean.
Yeah, Columbia really did play clean. Despite our doubts, they really pulled through in the end. Here's hoping UTD can show us equally exhilarating performances in the upcoming weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But until then, everyone, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Please let us know if you have any feedback. Please, of course, we're on Twitters. Or if you want to hop in the UTD Esports Discord, please do engage with the community. If you're interested in League of Legends, join LoL UTD. Come talk about it there. Always a great community to come in and hang out. Come be a part of the esports program. Come be a part of it all. But otherwise, we'll see you all next week. Y'all take care.